But let me show you everything that I use. So it's your handy dandy scale. This is a kitchen scale, but if you are like trying to get something under 1%, I will advise you to order or use a scientific scale, because those scales you can measure anything down from 0.1 gram. So if you are looking for that type of measurement, you need a scientific scale, not a kitchen scale. So just keep that in mind. And everything I measured for all my ingredients is always in grams, because you can get the exact amount that you need. Don't use ounces, fluid ounces, cups, measuring spoons. Don't use that, because your recipe will never be the same. So if you ever make any type of natural products, it's always going to be different. It's never going to be exactly the same. So I advise you, weigh all your ingredients on a scale. Make sure you're measuring your ingredients in grams, and get you a scientific scale to measure everything. Okay. Yeah, and then you want to make sure you use your immersion blender. And the stick attachment, I haven't cleaned my stuff up yet, but the stick attachment. And then you want to make sure you have like a board where you can chop. Or honestly, if you use the cocoa butter, you can use wafers, and that way you don't even have to worry about that. And then also your handy dandy clean sanitized container. So don't forget about this. And make sure you try to go for an airtight one, just because it's better and it helps with the longevity of your product. So just make sure you get like an airtight sealed type of container. Or you empty out a product that you're using, just wash it out, clean it out good, bleach that up with some solution, and then spray it down after it has air dried with 70% alcohol, and let it air dry, and then you're ready to go, and you can use this again. Okay, so I use this organic coconut oil. Now you don't have to use coconut oil, because it's a high allergen for most people, so you can substitute this for like I'll say apricot oil that's lightweight. You can use grapeseed oil. Now with grapeseed oil, it does go rancid really fast. So if you're not planning on using that body butter like soon, don't even put it in the formula, because it can go bad like really fast. And so like I mentioned earlier, I use this avocado and sunflower oil, and it has a lot of moisturizing properties. Now some people feel like avocado oil is a little bit heavier, but it's going to give you that moisture that you're looking for, and you can retain the moisture better with that. And then I use shea butter, and I just keep my stuff in the inside like this. I know I should probably put it in a container, but this is how I have it now. And this is some shea butter I ordered from off of Amazon, and it came from Ghana, and it's unrefined. No, it's refined shea butter, so it doesn't have that nutty smell in it. If you like that nutty smell, then by all means you can purchase it, but this is what I have. And then I ordered this vanilla. It is oil soluble and water soluble, so it can work in either or formulas, for water formulas and formulas that does not have water in it. And this came from Madagascar. It's really good. It's not really strong. It smells more sugary than vanilla to me, but it's really nice. And then I put my preservative in there, put Octafin. If you're not gonna get water in it, then you don't have to put it in there, but it's totally up to you. And then my lavender from Now. They have really good products, and I ordered that from Amazon as well. And I put this vitamin E inside, and I got this from Walmart, I believe, a while ago. And then my cocoa butter. I also ordered that from Amazon. So I have linked everything down below if you want to use the exact ingredients that I use. Because sometimes, depending on where you get your ingredients from, you might end up with a different outcome, even though you're literally going through the same process that I went through with creating my formula. Okay, and then the castor oil right here. I'm not sure if I got this from the commissary or from Target. I'm not even sure, but I added this in there, and it's organic as well. So yeah. Okay, so I have finally finished with the body butter. I did it the traditional way, where people literally would put the oils and the butters together, and they would just blend until they got the consistency that they were looking for. So I decided to do that this way instead of using the heat method, where you put your ingredients in a double boiler and you melt everything together. But instead of doing that, I just used my immersion blender. So I did have a moment, and you'll see that I tried to use the whisk attachment. Why did I do that? Because my immersion blender was not having it. So I had to switch out the whisk attachment to the blender and use the stick blender attachment. And when I switched over, you'll see right away that it started blending really well in the video. But it's just trial and error being a creator. Sometimes you plan for things to work out one way and then it work out another way, but that doesn't mean that it's not a success. So just keep that in mind. Don't get weary when you're creating, because you can do well as long as you keep that mindset. Keep your mind set on the things above and not the things here. So this is the thing that came to my mind, the verse in the Bible that came to my mind. But here is the final product. I put it in this container. This is the container I usually use for my kids. I like to reuse, reduce, and recycle. And they do have skin conditions. So this is not me telling you this is healing, or have healing properties, but this is something that I like to use personally, and it helps them, and it gives them some soothing, some relief, and kind of combat inflammation. So I'm gonna take this lid off, and I did sit this in the freezer for about 20 minutes, and I want to show you how it just looks like it's a hard butter in here, but it's fine with me because we're gonna go through this so fast. So if I whip butter, it's just, for the aesthetics of it looking whipped and creamy. But overall, this is how it looked inside the container, and you can put your finger in and look, it just comes right out just like that. So that gives you an idea of how it'll look. And so I wouldn't leave this in the freezer no more than 30 minutes, just because you want that texture. Now, if you leave it in there longer, your texture, it might be a little harder. If that's what you are looking for, then, by all means do that. But if you're gonna leave it in longer, just make sure you have it in your container. So this literally is me creating this in the glass container, pouring it, mixing it together, pouring it in the container, and letting it sit. You can let it sit at room temp and just let it solidify on its own naturally. But if you're trying to speed up the process, you can put it in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. So no more than 20, definitely no more than 30. Okay, so I hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial. And the scents that I use in this is vanilla and lavender. And then I use avocado and sunflower oil in here. And I made sure I put a preservative in it because my kids, they stick their hands in here and there's no telling what they might have on their hands. So this is just something to keep in mind. And I also use vitamin E oil to keep the formula from going rancid. and I added coconut oil, and I also added cocoa butter, just to give it that velvety type of texture, but not too hard, but not too soft like shea butter. So I kind of got a nice balance of the texture that I want. And then at the end, right at the end, I decided to add castor oil, which is something I typically don't do, but because our skin been a little bit more drier, so I wanted to add another ingredient inside the formula to give it more moisture properties. So that's the reason why I added the castor oil. But overall, it's a pretty simple formula. It will be on my blog on my website, and you can get like the inside details on it, and I will also leave the instructions and everything at the bottom of the video. I did write some notes down, and the appearance is pretty white. It melts instantly, and it has a fast absorbent rate, and it's soft. Now I didn't use the heat process for this, so it looks like this. It's a little runny because it hasn't set completely yet, but it's just something to keep in mind. And now, as you can see, it looks like a lotion. So honestly, you could put this in a pump, I believe. But honestly, if I were you, I would like put a little bit in a small container and like test it out for maybe a day to make sure before you dedicate, you know, putting your formula inside of a pump bottle. So just keep that in mind. And if you do put it in a pump bottle, just know you may not be able to get your body butter out of there, but it goes right on, and it's oily. So if you don't want an oily body butter, you can add arrowroot powder inside of that formula. I say no more than 5%, because the arrowroot is going to give it like a powdery, silky satin texture, and it will dry up faster. And not only that, it'll absorb in your skin quicker, and it won't be oily. So if you want to add that ingredient in there, it will definitely help with it. But see, as you can see, it got that sheen, the gloss. It feels pretty good because I was ashy. So we ran out, so I had to make some more for my kids. Of course, more for them than for me. But yeah, that's it. So that is the details on But thank y'all so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've learned something valuable here. And don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything that's blooming next here at Joyful Bloom Essentials. Thank y'all so much and take care and be blessed. Bye.